Do they ever have like psychologists on set for people that have like a breakdown for losing?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a psychologist on set 24/7. Um, and everybody who gets eliminated, it's kind of you have to go through and get um, processed out through a psychologist.
Yeah.
And even me, even after I won, I had to go and sit down with the psychologist. It was a great conversation.
What do you guys? Can you share like what you guys talk about?
Of course. I mean, so for me, it's different because I didn't get eliminated.
Yeah,
And I remember like
he's patting you on the back. You're like, good job, fist bump it.
well, it was. I mean, it was interesting, and I'm sure it was interesting for her too. It was like, how often you get to debrief with someone 30 minutes after they just won $10 million, and it was. I told my wife and my son like, "Hey, I'll be right back. I got to go in here." And she's like, "So how do you feel?" I'm like, "Awesome. I feel great." But then she had to go through like, well, I'm sure there were times that were psychologically challenging or emotionally kind of pressing. Like, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you processed it? Um, Obviously, I felt great, but like they gave me access to a psychologist. They're like, by the way, even though you won $10 million, here's probably what's going to happen. You're going to go home. You're going to be elated. You realize you're not going to be able to talk to anybody for some weird reason. You're probably going to get depressed. Then you're going to forget about it for a little bit. And then the show's going to air and you're going to start feeling all these feelings again. And they were spot on. And they're like, hey, please call us. So the Beast team made available a psychologist to anybody to chat with who are struggling with this. And this psychologist is like, his thing is reality competition shows.
Wow.
How long until the depression set in, and why do you think that happened?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy why it happened, but I would say probably 3 weeks. And depression was just like, it's like you planted a seed, but you can't tell anybody about it. It hasn't kind of bloomed yet. And it's like you want to start making changes in your life, but it's like, but I didn't get paid yet. It hasn't got announced yet. It's just a weird feeling.
So you didn't get paid until when?
Yeah. So the finale aired February 13th of 25, and I got paid the very next day.
So that was just recently that you got paid?
Just recently.
That you just saw like a $10 million wire?
Yeah, no big deal. Just $10 million.
Just another day.
Wire.
Does Chase ever call you and be like, "Hey, Jeff, we noticed your normal account balance is at a
Unusual
few
activity in your
$100,
account."
and now
Yeah.
it's $10 million.
Well,
What happened?"
And this was a checking account that I literally opened up for Beast games.
Well, that's not suspicious at all.
Well, no, but it's
brand new checking
no,
account.
but
Yeah.
I opened it up after Vegas, because after Vegas, everybody who went to Vegas got $2,000. So I just said, hey, I want to open up another checking account. I put that in, and so it's like I have this one checking account that was specifically for that, and I see it pop up. But yeah, to your question, nobody from my bank called me, which was like
Seems like a major oversight. Maybe if this is like all of a sudden a $10 million wire comes
especially
in.
considering it's a brokerage house too. It's like, hey, let us help you put that to work. I'm sure they, you know who you are if you're listening. They can put some alerts in there, because it would have been a great thing to have, private banker call you and go, hey, here's what happened. What just happened? How can we help you put this to use? What are you thinking about? But yeah, no call, no nothing.
You would think that just any wire over $5 million should deserve a phone call. If not even just like, hey, congratulations on this. This
Nice
is pretty
job.
cool.
Yeah.
Great
How'd
job.
you do this?
Well
Yeah.
done. Granted, I live in Silicon Valley, and this is the startup capital of the world. And distributions like this, even though I've never experienced anything close to it, happen often. So I don't know if it's just par for the course in Silicon Valley to have $10 million wires, but certainly not for me.
So how much did you actually win in Beast games?
So the total sum, including the 2,000 from Vegas, the 10 million from the grand prize, plus 4,242 from the phone bribe, or the $1 million bribe. So at 10 million, 6,000,
Something.
242.
Now, going back, winning that amount of money and speaking with a psychologist, was there ever an amount of guilt that you felt getting this money, knowing that someone else had to lose?
Yeah, I mean, of course. And, I also think about all the friends and people who helped me get there. And it's like, how do I pay them back? How do I pay it forward? Why was it me and not them? I don't know if they call it survivor's guilt or, but yeah, I felt that. And it's, It's not fun.
Could you split any money at all? Were you allowed to be like, hey, you really helped me out. Here's like 20 grand.
It was in our contract that we weren't allowed to. And then, in certain challenges, they'd kind of reiterate that. It's like, by the way, like you can't make any deals. You can't say, hey, if you help me get to this, I will give you 10% if I win.
See, that's what I was thinking when it was down to the three of you with a $10 million prize. Like you could have each walked away with, $3.333 million dollars, which is nearly $5 million. Just getting up there, and everyone could have left happy. But you're saying you couldn't have negotiated out some sort of split?
Yeah, there was no negotiation. And I think, if we could have, we probably would have, with those three people. I don't think there was anybody there who's like, no, I have to get this. But yeah, it's there was no ability to negotiate a split. And I think there's some pretty severe clawbacks too in the kind of the agreement we signed if they find that someone is splitting after the fact.
But before we get into that, men, real talk for a second, we are all afraid of losing our hair. And whether that's a receding hairline, thinning at the crown, or just thinning in general, the fear is there. But fortunately, there is a solution, and that would be our sponsor, Hims Hair Loss Solutions, where you could join hundreds of thousands of subscribers who got their flow back.
Hims offers a 100% online process that provides access to a range of hair loss treatments that work, all from the comfort of your couch, making treating hair loss simple with doctor-trusted treatment options and clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months.
And if swallowing pills is a challenge for you, no problem at all, because Hims also has a serum, spray, and chewable options.
The process is simple and it's 100% online. Just answer a few questions and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment will be sent directly to your door.
So guys, start your absolutely free online visit today at hims.com/ICH.
That's HIMS.com/ICH for your personalized hair loss treatment options, or you could click the link down below in the description. HIMS.com/ICH.
Results vary. Based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil, prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Thank you to Hims for sponsoring this episode, and back to the podcast.